Ben Cartwright is seriously wounded as he and Hoss seek help in fighting the vengeful Morgan brothers, only to be confronted with cowardice later at 7:30pm on Bonanza. But first, sit back and relax with the Thamesmen.
Ah, hello.
Oh, John.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Up in Colorado. My name is Alex. I'm up in Colorado.
I'm George. I'm in Los Angeles.
Yeah, how is LA?
About 5,000 feet lower than you. I mean, how is it living up on a mountain? Do you notice?
Yes, I'm not acclimatized at all. It's the small things like do my shoes up. I just get exhausted. You know what I mean? These are small things. I'm 7.5 actually, 7,500 feet up.
Really, that's pretty high.
I
That's
know.
pretty decently high. I mean,
But that means that when I come down to see you, I'll be superhuman.
You'll be like one of those Ethiopian runners, will you? You'll be just like doing a marathon.
I doubt it. But you know what I mean? Cigarette and beer in hand. You know what I mean?
You'll just have to have more of them.
Anyway, we are back on familiar territory, my friend.
Well, yeah, so we're just getting settled back in. Alex has set up his studio in Colorado. We're just sort of testing out our equipment, and just thought we'd do something a little bit familiar, because we did some Oasis in the very early days, didn't we?
We did. You're right, and it's it's not perfect. Whereas it takes time to get everything settled in. So we're just picking a few favourites that we like, and we've both seen Oasis, but we like Oasis, and we haven't gone back to it for years. So we thought we'd test out equipment on that.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm sure there's going to be lots of people who go, "I don't like Oasis," but give this one a listen. You might be surprised.
Well, actually, I don't know. See, this is the deal, right? If you were in England and you are of our age, and you were there when Oasis came out. Oasis as a band is one thing. Oasis in its subculture, where it came into the culture for England, is something else. It's a bit like the Grateful Dead. If you listen to the Grateful Dead, that's one thing. But if you actually put them in the history of the culture of where America was, that's something else.
That's a really good point, because I don't get the Grateful Dead, really, but just as a side note, because I didn't grow up in that culture, but I do get Oasis.
But I mean, it's very, very hard to untangle the Grateful Dead with freedom, love, the Diggers, and acid, and the hippie movement. And It was a time and place that America was changing, and the Grateful Dead was pretty much the anthem tune for that. It's the same thing for Oasis for English people, right? So England was changing. We were turning into New England, and all of a sudden we had what we called back in England Cool Britannia. So the flag was cool again. We're not ashamed of it anymore. We had a younger younger prime minister coming in, and the backing band for this was Oasis. They had attitude, and they just didn't give a flying fuck. And it all came together. And at one point, Oasis were, for English, one of the biggest bands in the world. And now, I don't know if that transcribes across the world, but that's the cultural reference for Oasis.
Well said. And I like that. That's a very good summary. Do you have some more notes with that?
I do. Stop crying the heart out. Stop crying. So this is, it's released in 2002 from their album Heathen Chemistry. And it's slowly over time become one of the most popular enduring tracks. Okay, so it's basically a heartfelt ballad. It's written by Noel, the guitarist and main songwriter of Oasis, and the lyrics offer words of comfort and solace to someone going through hard and difficult times, encouraging them to stay strong and not lose hope. It conveys a message of resilience and the belief that things are going to get better. Now, it not only showcases their ability to create anthemic and melodic rock, but also touches on introspection. The uplifting chorus and melodic hooks make it memorable and relatable song for listeners, resonating to those who may be going through challenging times and need encouragement. And over the years, Stop Crying the Heart Out has become a fan favourite and one of Oasis' most beloved tracks. All right, it's been used in a lot of films. It's been, it's been a lot of TV and shows. So it has over the time. And now this version, where's this version from, George?
It's live on Top of the Pops. So I don't know how live is live on Top of the Pops, honestly, because Top of the Pops was not. Anyway.
No, this is live.
Live at Top of the Pops. So it was 2002, so shortly after it was released. And for those who don't know, Top of the Pops was, for many, many years, our iconic sort of music program. Was on, that was Thursday nights, wasn't it?
Thursday, 7:30.
7:30, they'd have the charts, and they'd have various bands come in, and then, but they had a lot of creepy Radio 1 DJs, or they turned out to be creepy after the fact, So,
now they're all in jail, but Oasis has split up. There have been talks about Oasis getting back together recently, but
Really?
that's just more fan wish hope. But because the brothers Noel and Liam, they just can't do it.
I bet you an insurance company wouldn't insure them, even if, they would, let's put all the money into a big tour, and then probably after 2 days, they'd probably have a fight and walk off in opposite directions, I think it would, would you insure that? Would you put your money into that?
Yes,
I don't think so.
I would.
As an insurance company, would you? You'd be like, no.
Well, if you're here because you love Oasis, apparently this is a great live version. I haven't seen it. If you're not into Oasis, but you're still here and giving it a try, I promise you, you're probably going to enjoy this. So sit back and relax and let's hear it.
Excellent.
I sound like
All
a
right.
DJ there. All
Yeah.
right.
Creepy Radio 1 DJ.
No, I'm born for that.
We were
Come
born
here.
into that, weren't we? It's our
Sit on my
culture.
knee.
They were so creepy, weren't they? They
were
always had
so-
those girls hanging around them, and they'd always
Yeah.
put their arm over them. It was
And
horrible.
the girls were about 12 back in the 70s.
as it turns out, yeah.
know.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway,
3,
on that note.
2, 1, boom. The original doesn't start like this.
Hold on. Hold on. Don't be scared. You'll never change what's been laid down. May your smile shine on. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Your destiny may keep you warm. 'Cause all of the stars are fading away. Just try not to worry. You'll see them someday. Just say what you need and be on your way. And stop crying your heart out.
Oh, it's great.
Get up. Come on. Why you scared? You'll never change what's been laid down. 'Cause all of the stars are fading away. Just try not to worry. You'll see them someday. Just say what you need. I'll be on your way. And stop crying your heart out.
They were very cool, weren't they? Yeah,
They
Liam
were.
was so cool.
They,
He's so cool. Yeah.
You know, I'm sure a lot of Americans won't agree, but for us Brits, I think at one point he was the best front man in the world.
Oh, totally. You know, just everything about him, his attitude, his style, his glasses, his just sneering vocal.
And then
but
he was dating Patsy Kensit at the time.
Yeah, it's
You know,
not bad,
and he
is
had
it?
his house called Supernova, you know, in London. And that, you know, when they had too much money, because they were storing all their road equipment in Alvin Lee's studio. They rented the whole studio out just to store their equipment.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I know. It's just not even bothered to pay for, you know.
Yeah.
They were absolutely fantastic. And you know who was on guitar there?
Who's that?
On the left, that was Andy Bell from Ride.
Oh, right, of course it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would see them live again. You know, I would see them for sure. If they did form and they did do a tour. Actually, the one I should really, you know, have you listened to any of Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds?
Yeah. It's brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. They've got some amazing tunes. You know, I don't know if they'd get any big numbers if we did them here, but I often put on a playlist of his stuff. I really do.
Not only that, have you heard Liam Gallagher's solo stuff?
I have not actually.
Bloody brilliant.
Really?
So you know, he's not a songwriter. His brother was a songwriter, so he's got songwriters in. But there's a couple of real corker tunes in there. These guys have not gone away at all. Now, saying that, I mean, like, they blew it. They just got to the very top. They got to the stadium, and then they completely imploded. But that was we were all waiting. This is what most people don't understand outside England. We were waiting for them to explode because they were so fractious. And this was one of the joys of Oasis. At any one moment, those brothers were going to blow up, and eventually they completely blew up.
It was, self-destruction, you know. I tell you what, it might be an interesting little program would be to do you remember how we used to do one song versus another? Mm-hmm. Maybe we should pick a Liam song versus a Noel song.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'll take the Liam.
Okay, and I'll find a Noel song.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a back-to-back, one versus the other. Brother versus brother.
I remember Liam was talking about, he got his big royalty check or whatever, and he went and bought his mum a house. And a really big house, and he goes, "Hey, mum, bought you a big house." And she goes, "What the fuck am I going to do with that?" So she refused to move, so he bought her a new gate instead. Great.
It would have been better if he did that first time round, really, wouldn't it? Saved him a lot of money.
I know, yeah. But excellent. Well, thank you for being with us on that one and that nostalgic trip, you know, and it was just great.
Yeah, they certainly I loved that performance of it as well. It had a rawness to it, which was great. You know,
yeah.
It was.
Listen to the studio album.
Yeah,
mind blown.
Excellent.
All right.
Well, we'll see. We'll have to get together our little challenge then. Won't
I know.
Oh, like we need more work, and Chris is going to be going, those bloody idiots. Got a list of things they've got to do before Christmas, and now they go and make up some other stupid challenge.
To apologise, everyone, because Chris, the curator, he schedules everything, and we're booked out for Christmas, and we've just gone off on our own and just done our own shit.
Yeah. Well, this is a test. Our excuse is, we're just testing out the cameras, we're testing out the equipment, the green screen, stuff like that. So this may never see the light of day.
We're testing Chris's patience.
We are testing Chris's patience.
Take care. Don't cry.
Like and subscribe, people, and join Patreon if you want, because we've got the Rock God competition coming up at the end of June.
Yeah, we got live streams coming up. We got lots on stuff on the Patreon, behind the scenes and all that malarkey. All right. Yeah. Take care. See you soon. Ciao.
See you on the flip side.
Bye.